Okay, in this short tutorial, I wanna say this is a bit different from what I been doing as it relates to the X Air Edit XR18. Um, what I've talked about in most of my tutorials is using the XR18 digital mixer as a live mixer for playing in venues, but I haven't really touched much bass and using it as an audio interface. As an audio interface for software, the XR18 is a very important piece of equipment. What you would notice is that it gives you up to 18 inputs that you could send to your DAW at once and monitor back via your XR, monitor back via your DAW. But the important thing is that if you're in a recording studio with your XR connected with to the XA edit on your tablet, whether it be an iPad, or be a phone, or Android tablet, or iOS Apple product, you can move around your studio and be able to work independently in the studio and still be able to get work done, as opposed to having other people to help you do stuff. You could move around. You could be in the vocal booth and help the singer get their mic levels into the recording app right while you're adjusting the microphone, or anything that you can move around the studio. So what I'm doing here, as you can see, I'm using Studio One as my recording DAW for the studio in this event. And what I did with Studio One, I set up a template which gave me 16 tracks of drums, bass, guitar, vocals, and I'm capturing all that with my XR18, and I have that set up the same way to send all my signals and to the application. One of the great things about doing this in the studio, let's say I'm recording my vocals now, let's say to I'm recording my vocals on track 1. You can see that my vocals is coming up here. I could actually have my vocals, I can record it right here, but just to show you, I don't have to add any EQ or anything on this here, or reverb or compression. I could turn all these off. They're not necessary in the recording aspect unless I want to record with EQ or reverb or any of these things. What makes it so good with the XR18 is that I can use the XR18 for, let's say I can go to the channel here and I can add a bit of EQ going into the DAW, or just EQ the voice for the vocalist while they sing, but record it dry on an actual DAW. Same as a little compression. I can compress the vocals. Let's see, I could compress the vocals a bit going into the DAW, or use an effects for the vocalist while they're in the booth singing and it's not recorded into the software. So there's a lot of stuff that I could do in the XR18 that will help with making the environment easier for recording different musicians in the studio. One of the great things is that if you have a audio interface with only, let's say, 4 inputs, is kind of tough to record drums with only 4 inputs. You can see from this lineup that I have here, I can record all my drums at once by sending all my drum tracks right into my DAW without having to do anything. All my tracks for my drums could go directly into my DAW all at once. Once I have them mic up and check all my levels and everything, I can do that. Also, let's say my guitar, my bass, vocals, all this stuff I can send. What it does, it gives me the freedom in the studio to work alone. I could go to the over at the keyboard section and I could be recording and setting up my recording while I'm actually using the XR to control my input going into my DAW. Let's say I wanted to record my keyboard on 15. I could then send the keyboard to 15, EQ it, compress it, do whatever I want to do with it so it could sound good in the studio, but I'm recording it dry in the DAW. Or I could use any of these effects in the XA edit and have it printed directly on my tracks in my DAW if I'm satisfied with the song I'm looking for right there and then. That way I won't have to do much more mixing inside of the DAW when it comes to, if I'm happy with the way my vocal is sung, then I may EQ my vocal or compress it and then print it that way, or also print a dry track with nothing on it so I can actually go and blend them together or A-B them and hear what it sound like. But what I'm trying to get at is that the XR18 is a great audio interface for your DAW in the studio for recording, mixing, or but more getting your tracks down. It's very good in that aspect. It's like having one of the more high-end UAD audio interface. It's not the same quality as the UAD high-end interface, but it gives you flexibility that the UAD wouldn't be able to give you in terms of mobility around the studio with your tablet or your phone or your iPad. And on top of that, if you were to get the hardware part for the XR18, which is called where you could get the motorized faders, I'm trying to remember the name of it. It also extends way more than what you can do, because you can then actually set everything for your tracks in your DAW from this unit without having to actually mess with your mouse. And you can even have your live songs that you're recording into your DAW simultaneously while playing back a number of tracks, I think up to 32 tracks coming back from your DAW, and you have control over them using the external interface for the XR18. I'm trying to remember the name. I can't remember it so much, but it's It's a great tool. I'm hoping to invest into it since I'm gonna be back into a lot of mixing in the studio and recording. But this basic tutorial is to tell you that one of the best piece of equipment that you could get for your recording is actually a XR, whether it be a 18 or 12 or 16, getting your tracks into your DAW as fast as possible. Most of the smaller interfaces doesn't have that much inputs. Well, I had just bought a Scarlett Focusrite Scarlett third generation interface. This has just a couple of inputs, but it come nowhere close to the XR18. I've been having a lot of issues with it in terms of actually not staying in sync and the audio quality dropping over a period of time, but it only allows me to record a few tracks at a time. Let me see if I can grab it. So I'm talking about this unit, which is it has two inputs, and it's not much it can do with it. It seemed to work better with Windows than I had luck with it at Catalina on my Mac, but I could never have it in the class of what the XR18 can do for your recordings, especially having the flexibility to add so much to your DAW with the signal, and have the mobility to move around your studio while you're still being able and having control over the signal by your tablet. So if you like this this short tutorial, I'll be doing some more concerning of audio interface aspects of the XR18. So hope you like this video. Peace out.